So yeah, I can see that you're probably having a lesson in a corner of your area. Let me just share my screen for your reference.
Okay. Oh, and I could song.
I don't know. I mean, right now. Um, so I'm sharing my screen
Hmm.
there. So can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so this is how you look like from your students' end. So it's supposed to be white. It's kind of grayish or bluish, or maybe it's just a light, or maybe it's just a reflection of your shirt. Your background, I mean, your workstation.
Okay. Yeah, this is actually a corner.
Yes, yeah. And it looks so bluish or greenish, or I don't really know. Maybe you just have to improve your lighting.
Yeah, it's the lighting as well. That's why.
Yeah. Or it's just maybe a reflection of your shirt, probably.
Just the
There.
lighting.
Yes, okay. So, well, you might want to improve in that. There.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's all good. I really appreciate that you came in prepared. A good, working headset there, good audio, and I don't hear any background noise. Good job there. All right. So, yeah, that's it. Okay. Um, for the technical check, kindly share your screen, please.
Okay.
And when you share your screen, kindly share the desktop screen.
Okay, not a problem.
Mm,
Desktop, this one.
Screen, yes. Okay. There it is. Yeah, that's all I wanted to see if you're connected to a wired connection.
Okay.
You are. All right. So thank you. You can stop sharing your screen now. Okay. And as part of the technical check, I hope you don't mind if we need to check how app ready you are. So I wanted to know your smartphone OS.
For the smartphone, I'm not really familiar with the OS, but I'm using
It's
an
okay.
iPhone
Okay.
6.
iPhone 6. Yeah, I'm looking for the iOS version.
iOS. I also have an Android, but it's in the living room. For the
Okay.
iOS version, hold on, let me check.
Yes. It's in your settings and then
Settings,
general.
general,
Yes, and then about. And
about.
then you can see all the information in your device, including the version of your iOS.
Oh,
So
okay. It's 12.5.1.
12.5.1. Okay. 12.5.1. Yes. It's a January 2021 release. Okay, there you go. Thank you. Let me just put that there. Okay, hold on. There you go. Yes, and you pass all the technical check. Good job. All
Thank
right.
you.
Okay, so yes, yeah, you just have to improve on your lighting there.
Okay, we'll
Okay.
do that.
Mm-hmm. Get a brighter one because our students here are adults, professionals, and the first thing they see when you turn on your video is your appearance, your workstation
Mhm.
there. So especially if you have your classes in the evening, they would want to see. They interpret everything as part of professionalism. You know how it
I
is. Yeah.
understand.
Yeah, I mean, you're totally okay with me, no problem. It's just that, um, we do what the student prefers there. And, students, they rate you also, not just on your teaching skills there, but for everything, technical skills and all. That's why from the get-go, we really have to check that there.
Okay.
I hope you understand.
Yeah, that's fine. Thanks for the heads up, by the way.
You definitely need it there. Okay, so yeah, first of all, yeah, I've been checking your resume, your CV there. Um, 4 years BPO and 4 years ESL, TFL certified from ACADSOC until July there. So yeah, just a question: Is ACADSOC also affected with Chinese crackdown of online schools?
Yeah, it's not really clear to me what exactly happened, but
Mm-hmm.
even teachers were affected. Like me, for example, before I could open 10 hours of classes a day, but
Mm-hmm.
now I can only open like 2 hours a day maximum. And they also had to cut off my salary. it's because they are
Entirely.
struggling financially.
Mm-mm-mm. Yeah, well, it is affected. Even before this crackdown, I'm gonna give you, I'm gonna tell you, I've had a lot of ACADSOC applicants even before this, what's that, news coming from China there. So yeah, and I'd also do my research. I know for sure that we offer a higher rate. Um, we don't impose penalties, and we don't have difficult platform there. So that's how it is there. I'm just giving you the good stuff, but I'm gonna be very honest. I'm gonna give you all the stuff that you need also here at Bizmates. So if you have any questions, this is your chance. All right. Okay.
Okay.
So anyway, why Bizmates? Okay. Yeah. If you click, if you search for ESL online, if you Google ESL, there's a long, long list. Yes. So why Bizmates?
I just feel like it's matching my personality. I've stayed
Mm-hmm.
in Akadshot for more than 3 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like I've been specializing when it comes to teaching mostly teenagers and adults. For
Okay.
kids, I do my best to teach them, give entertainment, uh, dance and sing. But
Okay.
still, adult students are going back to my class and they are giving like good feedback. For example, the way I speak, they want the tone of my voice, they want the clarity of my voice, and they want my teaching style.
Mm-hmm.
But for the kids, I have, I have to make them happy, of
Yeah.
course.
Mm-hmm.
But deep in my heart, I feel like it's kind of difficult for me. I feel like I'm better with just talking and, making conversation with someone, just like, usual, like
Mm-hmm.
we're friends.
Yes, yeah. Um, well, if you did your research, that's one of the things where we're different because our students are adult professionals, like I've said earlier. Um, so you're not gonna sing ABC 1, 2, 3. Okay, you're not gonna make the your students what's that laugh and but what we do require here is a little bit of knowledge of any business know-how because our students come from different industry there, and once they start talking about work or stuff like that, it will be great if you know something about it. Well, if you don't, there's always Google there. Well, anyway, and also the lessons, it is your job to relate the lessons to the industry they are in so that the lessons would come alive, it would give value to them. That's how it
Okay.
is. There, that's how different it is. There. So is that something you can do?
Yes, I can. Actually, I've had those experiences before. Like
Mm-hmm.
some of my students would prefer business topics. I couldn't understand at first. So what I
Mm-hmm.
did was I researched and to keep the conversation continuous, I would also ask some questions from my students. So
Okay.
aside from her practicing how to speak English, they
Mm-hmm.
also teach me something that I don't know.
Okay, I understand. All right. Since you've tried, since you also haven't had an experience teaching adults, what do you think is the best approach in teaching adults? Which works for them?
You have to talk to them like a friend, but at the same time, they should learn something from you. So, say for example, it's important to profile your student because some of the students are very serious. They just want to focus on the topic itself. But for some of the students, they want a spontaneous conversation. That's why I give a lot of examples. I ask questions. I encourage them to speak, and I also give feedback depending on how they want it. Say,
Mm,
for example, some of the students are kind of sensitive with feedback. So what I
okay.
do, if they say something, I repeat it, but this time with the correct sentence.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I do.
Okay. All right. The second part of the interview is actually a demo lesson
Okay.
there. So I'm gonna see how you do what you're saying right now. I'm gonna see how you actually do it in a real teaching situation. there. But don't you worry, I'm gonna give you some tips on how we do things here at Bizmates. There, that should help you out. There. So up to this point, yeah, probably you have you have questions. Just it's okay. Like I said, this is your chance. All right. So first of all, business can be a perfect gig, a part-time gig, because we only require a minimum of 10 hours per week. There. So if you're busy with something during daytime, there. So no hustle, no problem. We only ask minimum of 10 hours. But of course, if you want a higher income, open more slots. There. That actually leads me to my next question. Your last employment recorded here with Akatsuki is July. That was a month ago. There. So yeah, what have you been doing for the past days?
Actually, I haven't updated my resume.
Mm,
I started working in BPO again, but that's
mm,
home-based.
mm-hmm.
I started 3 weeks ago.
Okay.
My schedule is from 10 in the evening until 6 in the morning.
Okay. So, do you have time to sleep? If you,
Yes.
yeah, because that's my worry. I mean, that's a lot of time. You don't sleep the whole night. So, how are you going to, balance your current BPO work with Bismates, if ever?
Before resigning in Akadsoc, I was doing two jobs already. Like 4 hours in Akadsoc, and then the other one is in BPO. I don't know why, but my body clock is only let me sleep for 4 or 5 hours a day. Maybe it's part of growing up or part of aging. I don't know.
Mm,
And I just feel like I have a lot of spare time. I want to be productive. And I'm running towards a goal.
okay.
Like in 2 or 3 years, I want to have my own business. So, as much as possible, I want my time be productive by working as
Mm-hmm.
a part-time tutor and then doing full-time job in some other kind of, like BPO.
Mm-mm. Okay. All right. So I understand. Okay. Um, all right. Let's talk about booking system. There, most ESL companies do booking system. We do booking system here also. So if I say that a booking system is challenging, but it's also fair, okay, there, um, expound on how booking system is challenging but fair.
It's challenging because for a beginner, it's expected not to get a lot of bookings yet. So
Mm,
you really have to sell yourself to the students for them to book your class. It's fair because if you've spent, let's say, 2 or 3 months and you're doing well with your classes, of course you'll be getting a lot of students. That's
mm,
why I believe, aside from putting something good about your profile or uh, doing your introduction creatively, you also
mm,
have to ace your class. So,
mm,
first meeting, you have to impress your student. So, as time goes by, the student will look forward to book your class again.
mm.
Just make it memorable.
Yeah, so it's not just about packaging. It
Yes.
must be coupled with skill. Yeah.
Right.
All right. So okay. At least Arkansas prepared you well for that. There, you know how booking system goes. There.
Yes.
So for the ratio, I mean for the rate, all right. Um, have you read through how much we offer?
Yes. 140 to 230.
Yes. So the increase happens every 500 lessons. One lesson is 25 minutes. So every 500 lessons, there's a 10 peso increase per hour. So we start at 140. After you finish 500 lessons, it goes up to 150. Another 500 lessons, it goes up to 160. You see the pattern here?
Yes.
So if you do this part-time, you can probably finish 500 lessons in 2 to 3 months. So I think that's a very fast increase there. So the longer you stay here, and if you keep up with your rate, you can reach a higher rate
That's
there.
actually a lot better than what I was getting in Akadsoc. I
I
started
know.
with 110. After 1 year, I got 5 peso increase and another
Yes.
5 pesos.
Well, here I have seen the younger. It doesn't happen. I cannot do that. But I've seen the younger trainers achieve 500 lessons in just 1 month because they were probably trying to reach that what's that rate that they're more comfortable with there. And when they finally got it, then they can slow down. But I wouldn't advise you to do that with your job right now there. For them, they did it full time there. That's why they were able to reach that there. So
Smart.
yeah, that's why they actually get a higher rate than I do there. There. So, well, anyway, so let's discuss about the requirements. Now, this is something that most applicants find it tedious there, but let me explain. Um, One of the reasons why I joined Bizmates is I know they do things legally there. So Bizmates is a withholding agent, meaning like if you become a part of the Bizmates family, we do have a BIR requirements there. Yeah. Um, it means you have to be BIR registered as an online English professional. They're training professional there. And so we require the COR, the certificate that shows that you are a BIR registered. So let me just show you how it looks like there. So you see this yellow thingy over here?
Mm, yes.
There. Yeah, that's the COR. That's what we require. And of course, you also have to have your own OR printed. Own because the name of the business would be your name there. So in RDO, that's your local BIR. When you apply for CO, that's probably like 500 pesos. And when you apply for the OR, I mean, yeah, if you have your OR printed, BIR prints a minimum of 5 booklets. That's more than 1,000 pesos. It depends on your RDO there. So I'm giving you this to give you an idea how much you're going to spend there.
Hmm.
So that's one of our requirements there. The reason why you must print an OR is because once you become a trainer, we call our teachers here trainers. Once you become a trainer here at Bismates, um, I mean, Bizmates will be your client, not your employer. So you write a receipt there to
Mm, okay.
Bizmates. There. That's how it is. All right. And then, what's that? Applying here, you must consult your HR department in your BPO work, because applying here would have an impact on your tax filing there. It's not going to make your tax higher. No. You will now just have a different category now. You will fall under MIE, mixed income earner, meaning you now have several sources of income there.
Mm, okay.
Yes, there. And your income here at Bizmates, because you are under mixed income, you will probably have 5% tax deduction there. So 5% of 140 is 7 pesos there. Can you work with that income? Or, I mean,
Yeah,
the 7 pesos doesn't even go to Bizmates, it goes to the Philippine government.
I
There.
can do that.
All right. So, well, you might be wondering, how are you supposed to do that? Like, we have
Mm,
no idea how to do that. If you reach the final stage of your application, there's the requirement stage. You will be given instructions, step-by-step instructions on how to go about it. There, they even tell you what form to take. They even tell you what to put in the form. So it's just a matter of following instructions there. And you guys are very lucky now because BIR has now a new advisory because of this COVID. They now allow online application of COR.
ah,
You
well,
can
that's
do,
better. I'm actually
yes,
thinking
much,
how to
much
go
better.
there, just in case.
Yeah, there. So I'm giving you the link. So this is the link on how to go about it. But here's the catch. There's a catch. This online registration is only available in some areas. So I really hope, wherever your location is, I really hope that the online application is available in your area? Well, if it's not, there's the second option. So if it's not, the online registration is not available, you can book online, for a physical appointment. So even if you have to go there, at least you only go there in your appointed time and date. You can avoid the long line. You don't have to wait in line. And in the requirement stage, they will provide you all the requirements. So you just have to visit the RDO one time there.
Thank you. Thank you for the links. Actually, I've seen a lot of people, applicants, they don't know or they're confused about this BIR thing. So thank you
Yeah.
for clarifying.
So, yeah, I know because, I've been through this. You know, I had no idea because in the company, you just see the tax deduction reflected in your salary, right? Yes, here at Bizmates, we're freelance workers now, and every freelance workers know that, we have to do our tax obligations on our own, filing, paying, all those stuff. But here, at least they give you a guideline there. um, there's even FB a page where there's a link where they can give you an updated news on BIR and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, thank
So,
you.
any more questions?
Not so far.
Yeah. So let me just give you the BIR requirements. I'm just all gonna put it in your chat box for your reference there. And the next one, other requirements would be like your TOR. Do you have your TOR?
I have requested for a copy, just waiting for
Okay.
the delivery.
Oh, great, great. Yeah. So, how about BPI account?
Yes, I have one.
Ah, see, all you have to do now is just the BII requirements there. We just made a lot easier these days. There. All right. So, okay. Any questions?
All good so far. Thank you.
All right. So, yeah. Um, let's go to the exciting part. Yeah, it's the lesson demo. It's just gonna be 5 minutes, so nothing difficult actually. I mean, you've been doing this for 2 years in Akatsak. That should give you an idea how it is. Well, but like we do some stuff here that you might not be doing in your previous employment. So one of the things that we observe is the 80/20 talk time. Any idea what that is?
Mm, 80 for the student and 20% for the teacher?
Mm. And the rationale is because since our students are adults, they already have an idea of the grammar. Yes. But at work, they're not actually going to use the verb and the noun of a sentence. What they want is something that is functional. What they want is learn some expressions. If they are in this situation, what are they supposed to say? If they are asked these questions, what are they supposed to say? So our approach here is not academic. It's an application of all the things that they learned about English. There, that's why we give them the 80%. And if you know something about the Japanese culture, um, real conversational fluency in English in Japan sadly is low there. And even in their everyday activities, they don't really have the chance to speak the language, the English language, as often as they should to improve their speaking skills. There, yeah. So that's why, yeah. Some of my students, they even tell me that they only speak in English during my class time. And that's only 25 minutes in a day to use the English language. So their progression is really slow there. That's why we really, really give them the 80% there. So what do you think that we do 20% of the time?
Listen, take
Mhm.
notes of the mistakes, and give them better way of how to say things or how to say the sentences.
True. Yeah. We give feedbacks. Yeah, we guide.
Feedback, yeah.
Yeah, and you're right. We have to listen actively. How can we give feedbacks and necessary corrections and suggestions if we were not really attentive to
Mhm.
their expressions there? So this is just 20%, but this is where a lot of hard work comes in there. Here at Bizmates, we call the necessary corrections and suggestions refine.
Refine.
There. Yes. And when you refine, you give, suggestions and better ways to express, what they've been trying to say, you know, in a more understandable way, in a more grammatically correct way. There. Yeah. And when you do that, always put it in the chat box. There. So this is where multitasking comes in. There. So while your student is speaking, you're kind of secretly typing already in your notepad like, okay, okay, I got it. So at the end of his expression or after him talking, you just have to copy your version or a better way and then put it in the chat box and say, oh, yeah, by the way, there's a better way of to say it. And then ta-da, there. So at least you don't have to let your student wait while you're typing there.
Understand.
So yeah, text happiness comes in there. Just a reminder though, yeah, that's tip number three, use the chat box. Just a reminder, when you refine, do it in a very polite and a timely manner. Um, the Japanese culture, they've been taught at an early age to be very, very polite there. So they've been taught nothing but manners, manners, manners. I'm telling you, I've had students with Chinese, Cambodians, Vietnamese, you know, this is what we do, right? And when I finally had a chance to speak with Japanese, I'm like, oh my God, where have I been all this time? Seriously, I'm telling you. So there it is. Okay. Um, what else? Yeah. When you put stuff in the chat box, the things that your input in the lesson, your corrections, um the additional info that you put in the lesson, that is the magic that happens in your 25-minute class with your student. That is a unique learning experience between you and your student, because you're also learning all of those amazing stuff that happens in your class. It's not in the material there. That's why it's really, really important to put it in the chat box. Adults as they are, even if they're adults, I mean, the more studious ones, they actually look back in the chat box and review everything that is in there. So if you did not put anything there, it's like it's such a waste of all the stuff, the real stuff that you was that talked about in class, because the material they can read that on their own there. What they are after is the thing that happens in your lesson there. Okay. So at this point, any questions?
I think everything is good. Thank you for all these examples.
There. So yeah, try to use that in your lesson demo. I'll be introducing to you your student there for your demo. Her name is Yuri. Yuri, do you watch Japanese anime?
Not
No.
really.
Yeah. Well, you would know that Yuri is a common female Japanese name. There are a lot of Yuri anime characters. So kindly read Yuri's profile out loud, please.
Name is Yuri. She's working in the sales department. Company is a beverage company.
Yeah. So now that you know Yuri's profile, consider her background as you customize your lesson in reaching your goal, which is, okay, read again, please.
Your goal is to teach the student how to introduce herself to a new business partner.
Mhm. So just an added info, Yuri is a level one student. So she's a lower level, a beginner. Let's just say a beginner. There. Now, this would be a 5-minute lesson demo. So make sure you reach your goal. Yeah, make sure that Yuri, after 5 minutes, would have an idea on how it is to introduce herself to a business partner. Remember to use the tips I gave you. And
Yes.
since this will be a role play, don't worry, this will be a role play. So I will pretend to be Yuri, your beginner student. That's why I will turn off my video so you can concentrate on Yuri as the student. And don't worry, I'll give you 5 minutes to prepare there. So by the time I call you up, um, treat the call as a 5-minute class.
Okay. Thank you.
So all good? All right. So it's 6:31. I'm gonna call you back 6:36. There it
Okay.
is. All right. Call you back. Good luck.
Thanks.